Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video to finish up the slide series to show you some of the improvements that we've made since we started. In this video I'm going to assume that you've watched the first part of the tutorial, and if you haven't, go back and watch it now so that you get the basics. Now, the first big improvement we made actually came from one of our Discord users, Henry Mason. Henry, if you're here, leave a comment and I'll pin it so that you get the credit. Basically, he figured out a way, much to my chagrin, of starting the pillars with one single foundation. So if you put down the one single foundation and then snap another one to it, and then it's 3 triangles out and 1 triangle back in, and then a quarter ceiling, and it gives you the perfect distance for the starting pillars. Now this gives you 2 big advantages to my initial design. The first one is that you don't have to build on flat land, so you can pretty much put it anywhere as long as you can fit 2 foundations in the spot. The other big advantage is that you only have to build 1 row for the base, so it takes literally half the time. I wish I'd discovered this when I first started building them, because it is so much quicker. The only real disadvantage to this method is that you can't use metal railings for your flat sections, because for some reason you'll fall down the middle of them. Works perfectly fine for down ramps, but as soon as you get to the flat, you'll fall straight through. Having said that, I've tested every other type of rail, so tech railing, adobe, stone, wood, they all work fine. It's just metal for some reason. Speaking of tech railing, you may remember from the previous video I talked about the bounce issue and that stone was the only one that didn't have that problem. Well, it turns out that tech doesn't have that problem either, so tech railing can make a really good option for your down ramp. And the other issue we identified in the first video was that you couldn't get up rails to go consistent, so you couldn't really make any jumps, which kind of sucked. Thankfully, I figured a way around that. So you just build out to where you want the jump and then build the railings up. But make sure the railings don't line up with your existing track. You want your railings to be basically a quarter off what your existing track is, like this. You then want to do your up ramp just slightly below your existing track. Once you've got that first rail in place, you just build the same triangular formation out to get the placement for the second rail. While you can't make flat sections out of metal, you can only make these up ramps out of metal. Anything else is just too inconsistent. And now you'll find your jump works every single time. Once you've made a jump, you can also then make a gap. Just run the track and see where you're going to land. Then build up some more tracks to meet up with your landing spot. If you find your foundations are too close to the ground to build out the triangular shape you need for the starting rails, just go up 1 pillar and build out your triangular shape, and you've got your new set of starting rails. We'll just give that a test to make sure we're landing in the right spot. And there we go, a nice gap. Aside from looking really cool, this also means a lot less building of rails, so it takes less time. Another thing we did on the final bobsled that a lot of people had been asking for is actually change the direction of the track. So all you do is go to the end, put a triangle where you want to turn, keep building out your base. Once you've done that, build out your triangle shape again. Now we've got some starting pillars in a different direction. For this, we're going to need some guardrails like we talked about in the first video. Just simply snap a quarter ceiling to one of the pillars and then a quarter ceiling to the other pillar, which can be tough to get the snap to work properly, like that. And then snap some pillars to your quarter walls you've just attached, and that'll give you your starting pillars for the guardrails. Now go up a few rails high. This is going to be the barrier that we're going to bounce off as we go into the turn. And you only need about 2 lengths of guardrail to be able to bounce off properly and land back on the slide. You want to finish your initial track a little bit short of the turn because you don't want to get stuck as you go into the railing. But don't worry, you'll fly off into that railing pretty quickly. So we'll give it a test, and you can see as you bounce around the corner you do lose a bit of momentum, so if you can make that landing onto a down ramp it does work better, and I've just landed on a Diplodocus. Well, that's about it. If you have any questions, join the Discord, the link should be in the description. And hey, if you make Ark content, feel free to give this a go in one of your videos. I'd love to see what you guys can come up with. The only thing left to do now is test out the slide we just built. Thanks for watching, and hey, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.